This week, we are going to be inserting data into our tables. So you'll learn how to insert rows, how to update the data that's in a row, and how to delete rows. So you'll read the chapter in the book, and then you're going to go through the lecture demo. This not only shows you how to insert, update, and delete, but you'll also learn how to, generate new tables. Using a select, we can actually copy all of the columns into a new table, which is awesome because then you don't have to do all of that coding. You'll also learn how to simply copy everything from one table to another, a couple different techniques. And then you'll learn all of the different ways of adding data to rows, modifying data, and deleting data. And wherever possible, if you see a link so that you can try it live, go ahead and click on that because the more that you work with this, the better you get. The textbook assignment is going to give you practice on all of the commands from the chapter and the lecture demo. And each task does have a video that you can watch. And we pretty much cover all of the commands. So even, how to do a select into to copy all of the columns, you will get practice doing all of that. Okay, once you're done with this, you are going to be ready for the second part of your final project, Milestone 2. So Milestone 2 has two parts. You did the first part last week when you created the database and your tables. This week, you're going to be inserting the data into your tables. And I did do a little video walking through these tasks, so you can watch that. I also noted on all of your projects the order that you need to enter data in when you are ready to enter data into your tables. And the order that you enter data is really important because you have to do the tables that do not have foreign keys first. Okay, so in this example, products and zip do not have foreign keys. How do I know that? The foreign keys in this diagram are denoted by the infinity symbol. And so zip does not have an infinity symbol by it, and neither does products. Okay, so these do not have any foreign keys. Once I have the data entered into products and zip, okay, then I can do customers because customers is dependent on zip code. Okay, that is its only foreign key. So once I enter zip, I can enter customers. Once I have customers entered, I can enter payments and I can do orders. Once I have the orders done, then I can do the items on order. Items on order requires the order ID from orders and the item number from products. So I have to have both those tables complete before I can do items on order. I've got lots of examples of inserting data. Things that people have run into that have caused them problems. First thing, if you set up an auto increment column, so for example, this column here, it just increases by 1. I could have set up the product ID or whatever I'm calling it here. It looks like it's item number. I could have set up item number as an auto increment column. And if I did that, that means that the system will generate the numbers and I would not enter them here. If you have a column that you put auto increment on, you do not enter data into it. Okay, so that's one thing you have to keep in mind and remember. Another thing that you need to remember is that your text has single quotes around it. Your dates have single quotes around them. And you have to enter the data in the right order. So the order that you have it in your table. So for example, zip code is the zip code, the city, and the state. That is the order that I need to enter it here. If I went out of order, so if I did state, zip code, city, I'm going to get an error, okay? Because my columns aren't lining up. So just to keep that in mind, you have to have things in the correct order. Another thing I've seen in bigger tables, like customer, is people miss a column. So what happens is they don't have enough, and SQL gives them kind of a weird message. But again, the problem is that it's expecting like 10 columns and you've only entered 8 columns worth of data. That is a problem. Okay, so make sure that you put data into all of the columns that it is expecting. Another problem I have seen, when you have these foreign key relationships, for example, zip code and customers, you have to put everything in the zip code table first, and then for your customers, you have to only use zip codes that are in the zip code table, because what it's going to do when you enter a customer is it's going to go back to the zip code table and it's going to double check. Foreign key is one of the ways that we can help keep our data accurate. It's going to go back and check to make sure the zip code exists. Because if you're trying to enter a zip code that does not exist in the zip code table, it's going to give you an error. Okay, so the entering data into the tables, you may think this is going to be quick and easy, and hopefully it will be, but this is where we typically find problems with tables. If you have defined anything in your table incorrectly, or you've been inconsistent, like let's say you have a primary key and you have it as an integer in one table, and then you put it into another as a foreign key and you made it a character. That is inconsistent. Those are the kind of things that we find when we're trying to add data, because it's not going to let you add data. It's going to have a problem with that. Okay, so hopefully this goes smoothly for you. If it doesn't, it could be any number of things wrong. So if you want my help with this, you're either going to have to come into office hours, because I'm going to need to see the tables and I'm also going to need to see the data. So I need to see all of it, and that will help me figure out what the problem is. So you're either going to have to come into office hours, or you're just going to have to kind of zip all of your scripts, the table scripts and your insert scripts, so I can look at everything. Once you've got all of the data entered into your tables, then you are going to be submitting those scripts to the Dropbox. What happens if you don't have the scripts anymore? You are going to have to go through these steps to generate them, because I need to recreate your table on my system. So using scripts works really well. Sometimes I can use the backups. If you guys take a backup, and I think you might have to, if you do a backup of your system, sometimes those work for me, sometimes they don't. The scripts always work. Okay, code always works. So upload those scripts, and then I'll be able to generate the data in your tables. So this milestone goes along with the first part, which was creating the tables and the database. And those scripts should be in here. Okay, and that's why this is a two-part project, and it's not due until the end of this week, which is the 16th. Now, once you're done with everything, you're going to do your showcase. And the showcase basically involves doing a PowerPoint. You're going to have a title slide, and then you'll have your database diagram. And then for each one of your tables, you're going to show the table structure, and you're also going to show the data that is in that table. Okay, and you're going to do this for every single table. Then you're going to export your video or your slideshow to a video. And this can take a while depending on, how much animation, transitions, how many graphics you have. So be patient with it. It should display a little progress bar at the bottom while it's exporting. And you should see it eventually in the same folder as the PowerPoint presentation itself. The reason you have to export it to video is because in the discussion forum, that is the only way for you to share this with your classmates. So when we go in and add, you'll give it a name, and then you're going to upload your video. So you're going to go to video, and you're going to go to browse. You're going to choose the file, and I'll just do this one. Wonderful database. And then it will upload it, and I'll be able to insert into the discussion forum. Okay, there it is. I'm going to insert. And here is the presentation. I did this earlier. Let me delete that. All right, so here it is. And that's pretty much all you have to do. So you'll have to do title here, My Awesome Fictional Business. Okay, and then you will post to the forum. So just make sure you've got the title slide, the database diagram, and every single table structure and a shot of the data. Okay, so you need pretty much a slide for each table. Once you have posted and your classmates have posted, then you're going to review everybody's and reply to 3. That is what you're going to be working on this week. If you run into any problems, it is easiest for me if you come into office hours and share your screen. If the office hours do not work for you, then you're going to want to send me all of your scripts because I can't problem solve this without looking at your tables and looking at your insert scripts. I have to look at all of it. Okay, so you're going to have to send me everything in order for me to figure out why it's not working. Okay, and I might actually have to create the database on my system and actually run all of your scripts in order for me to see the problem and figure out how to fix it. Okay, so hopefully everything will go smoothly, but if it doesn't, please reach out for help because I am here to help you.